Welcome. I'm Meredith. This is the Oasis Spiritual Empowerment Tarot. All about tarot, oracle, and empowering you. And we have another unboxing. This is the Mystical Tarot of the Saints by Psychic Nathy. Artwork by Christina Scagliotti. This deck, very, very different from my normal. But I found this deck thanks to Simon of Hermit's Cave. And it just, I don't know, it just kind of called to me. Personally, I tend to avoid, kind of angels and saints and stuff in my decks, but let's see, I feel like this one is kind of special. So you can go to the website mysticaltarotofthesaints.com, and I will link the site in the description. So it says original tarot created with the influence of the saints. The minor arcanas include pips that relate to an alchemical element, as well as saints for each one of the courts. The major arcanas fully embody a saint. The deck can be used for divination, meditation, or magical manifestation. So let's take a look. So we have a decent-sized little white book. The font's a bit small, but it is readable. Now, it's earlier in the day. At night, it might be a stretch for me, just personally. It goes immediately into the cards. We have one page per major and per minor as well. I just want to see if there's anything. And it does tell us who the saints are on the cards, it looks like, which is quite nice. Then we have divination practice. This is basically spreads. And a little section for you to add personal notes. So let's take a look at the cards, and then we'll pull one and read from the guidebook so you can see better what to expect. Love these backs. Look how pretty. And it's right about standard size tarot. Maybe a little shorter, a little more narrow, but it's right about there. So, and we do have the saint's name on the card as well, which is very nice. So for the Fool, we have Saint Expedite. And I really like, there's something about the art in this deck. I really, really like. We have Saint Cyprian for the Magician. Now, I was raised Episcopalian, which is kind of like Catholic light. And I did go to Catholic school, but I'm not familiar with every saint. There's a lot of saints. The High Priestess, we have Mary Magdalene, which is an interesting choice. For the Empress, we have Saint Helena. The Emperor, St. Louis. St. Louis? I feel like it's Louis, but I could be wrong. Hierophant, St. Peter, which makes perfect sense, right? Peter was the rock. He was that foundation. The Lover, St. Valentine. The Chariot, St. Christopher. Now, it bears mentioning, I suppose, I'm not really Christian. I am. I am complicated. I'm Hindu, but I'm really very much interfaith, which to me is Hindu. Um, so I take what works with faith, with magical practice, with tarot practice, with whatever. It doesn't matter. And I think that every faith has something beautiful to share. So just to give you an idea of where I'm coming from. Yeah, I love Saint Christopher is like the patron saint of children, I think, right? Lost children, something. In Justice, we have Saint Michael. The Hermit, we have Saint Onofre. For the Wheel, we have Saint Catherine. Strength, we have Saint Martha. The Hanged Man, we have Saint Sebastian. That's it. So for Death, we have La Muerte, which is just the death, right? I think so. Temperance, we have Saint Cecilia. For the Devil, we just have Fallen Angel. Now, the upside down cross is a funny thing because you know the upside down cross originated with one of the disciples because they were going to crucify him. And he's like, I'm not worthy to be crucified the way Jesus was crucified. So he asked them to invert the cross. So he'd be crucified upside down. So I feel like it's a very Hollywood thing, the inverted cross. It's actually really a holy symbol in Christianity, but be that as it may. The Tower, we have Saint Barbara. The Star, we have the Three Kings. How fabulous. The Moon, we have Mary. That's an interesting choice for the moon. I mean, it's beautiful, right? But if you think about in terms of the interpretation, I might want to look at that one. For the Sun, we have Jesus. Judgment, we have Saint Gabriel, right? Blowing his horn. The World, we have Saint Francis. That's a lovely choice. So now the Ace of Chalices. Look how beautiful that is. It's just beautiful. This deck feels so very loving and warm and gentle. And so obviously it's heavily steeped in Christian imagery and icons and things like that. But I really don't think that you need to be Christian to appreciate it. And I guess that's where I was going in the beginning with this. Oh, wow. I like this. It's really, really interesting. Now, that said, I do think that if you were going to use this deck to read for someone, it would probably work best if they came from like a Christian background. And yeah, I'll tell you, this could be fabulous for somebody who does come from a heavily Christian background and they're like, oh, I don't know about tarot. Is it evil? Is it, So this kind of layers in that kind of familiar and I think this could help make it feel more okay for them, potentially. So now for the Page of Chalices, we have Francisco, Lucia, Jacanita. I wonder if this is from, oh goodness, I can't think of the name. Those kids they saw, I don't remember, was it Mary? I forget. It might be something else. So the Knight of Chalices, we have St. Lawrence. Queen of Chalices, we have St. Elizabeth. Beautiful, beautiful card. For the King of Chalices, we have St. Benedict. So now, there are a couple St. Benedicts, I'm pretty sure. So if it's the St. Benedict... Oh, shoot, what the heck's his... I can't think of it. So the one St. Benedict is the one who's like, he's the saint of like exorcisms and stuff like that. I wonder if that's who that's meant to be, or if it's meant to be somebody else. But with the scroll, like, because there's a lot of dogma and things, I wonder if that's it. I might look that up too. So now the Ace of Coins. So I feel like, I mean, certainly when there is a specific saint, right, it's noted on the card. So I do think that some of the ones that don't have saints noted, at least, are depicting particular scenes. I don't know if they all are. Or maybe I'm projecting and they're not even meant to, but I feel like they are. I love this for the Five of Coins. So they are being led, right? As opposed to turning away from it. Is that a ferret? I love ferrets. I really like the way this was done. Like, everybody has a share, you know? Really like that. For the Page of Coins, we have Saint Honoré. Honor. And for the Knight, we have Saint Matthew. Is Matthew the one, was he the tax collector? I don't know. I'm just wondering if that's why he's coins. Saint Hedwig for Queen of Coins. Saint Balthazar, that's a great name, for the King of Coins. Oh, I love this. The Ace of Staves. And again, so there are a lot of saints that I am not familiar with. And even the ones that I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard of that one. I don't remember, all the aspects. But that makes it interesting to me because I can learn about it as I use the deck. And knowledge is always good, That's interesting. See, like, this has got to be depicting an event, right? But I don't know what. That's fabulous. Oh. Love this for the 8. It's really, really nicely done. And we have St. Luke for the Page of Staves. St. Anthony for the Knight of Staves. St. Genevieve for the Queen. Dropping stuff. St. Joseph for the King of Staves. Now for the swords. It gives me a very Lady of the Lake vibe. I don't think it's intended, but it feels like it's like coming up from the depths of a lake. Oh, that's beautiful. I love this. I feel like this was a missed opportunity to put Judas in there. Although maybe they didn't want to. But it's such a complicated thing. Because, like, there's a betrayal, but it also, he kind of had to do it, right? For everything to go according to plan. So I would really like that for the Five of Swords because there's definitely a lot of pain involved with that. But it's also necessary for that progression. That's just my thing anyway. I wonder, it's probably not, but I wonder if that's meant to be like Pilate's wife and she had the dream. Probably not. So we have Saint Martin as the Page of Swords. Saint Paul as the Knight of Swords. Joan of Arc as the Queen of Swords. That's wonderful. And St. George, of course, as the King of Swords. Okay, so then we have, I never know if I'm meant to show these QR codes or not. So basically, there's a book, The Secrets of the Mystical Tarot of the Saints. There are also some meditations, prayers, audio files from each saint featured in the tarot deck. So, and you can buy them at mysticaltarotofthesaints.com. So, let's take a look at the guidebook. Now, I did pull out 2 cards, so why don't we take a peek at those? Or at least one of them. So, I want to look at Mary, because I'm curious about the rationale behind it. So this is for the moon. Okay. So Mother Mary. In this image, we see something magical. Virgin Mary, clad in midnight, starry indigo. Oh, sorry, let's try this again. Virgin Mary, clad in midnight starry indigo, sitting on the crescent moon, with a glittering halo over her head, holding baby Jesus, clad in burgundy. Her robe is merging with the starry sky all around them, and remnants of the Milky Way can be seen behind the moon. Below them are sandy dunes of Jesus' birth home and palm trees illuminated by the starlight. When it comes to divination, the moon is a very complex card, and it has everything to do with subconsciousness, secrets, dark lies, hiding, and the empty space between the earth and the moon, where it's said that all human dirty secrets lie. When this card comes up in a love reading, it's an omen of betrayal, affairs, and deceit. In a spiritual reading, the moon stands for the dark side of the moon. Thus, the answer to the riddle that is plaguing you is found within your own natal placement of the moon and the aspect it receives. This is an omen that you should give into the darkness and go through the dark night of the soul with reckless abandon, for you are destined to live through all of the dark and mysterious things fates have in store for you. When the moon comes up in a career reading, then it means that someone may have many secrets and probably a vault filled with hidden addictions. This discovery could go in your favor. You just need to play your cards right and cautiously in order to avoid backfiring. So that's how we get. So it's a little disappointing to me, because I really was looking for more. Why was Mary chosen? And certainly you can come to your own conclusions about it. And you know what? I don't like. Let's check Saint Benedict before I even say. So he is the King of Chalices. I'm looking to see more information about the saints. So, here we go. It is a little tough to read. So let's just say, it describes the card, which I can see. Anyway, deep in thought, writing his rule that will become one of the most influential religious rules in Western Christendom. So it gives you a hint, right? Above him, the sky, symbolizing spirituality. Beneath him, red vineyards, symbolizing asceticism and devotion. King of Chalices is diplomatic, romantic, and highly intelligent court card. He stands for professors, priests, travelers, and prophets. He's also considered to be the King of Templars and to commune with the angels of the earth's waters. So it only gives you a touch. So basically, you kind of have to have an idea of the saints or be willing to Google. Or perhaps pick up that book, which I would expect gets into greater detail. I don't know. I'm going to have to take a look at it. I might actually pick it up if it does. Because it's just interesting, you know. I don't think you need it to use the deck. But I think it does, you know, it can add a nice layer to it. And certainly if you are more familiar with the saints than I am, you might not need it, right? But shuffles beautifully. So let's just go ahead and lay them out and see how they might look in a reading. This is a lovely, I'm not going to push it. It's a lovely, lovely deck. It really is. There's just something so warm and nice about it. Yeah, and like I said, I really do genuinely tend to avoid, or I don't know if I'm really trying to avoid, but I tend not to be drawn to decks with strong Christian overtones. I mean, that's a loaded thing too, because that's not even true really, because if you think about RWS has a ton of Christian overtones. When it comes to angels and saints, I generally, I don't think I have any other decks really that do this, and there are quite a few that do, definitely with the angels, but even I think the saints, I think there are some decks, but this one just called to me. I really like it. It's so pretty. It's a nice card stock. It's like a nice playing card stock. And I just find it really interesting. Let's take a quick look just to see. So this is a card that doesn't have like a saint or anybody put in. I just want to see if it gives any hints about anything that you know, any biblical occurrences or anything like that. So I'm just going to scan it. I'm not going to read it unless I find yeah, so there's nothing. And I just did a quick scan. If you can zoom in and pause, you can read it yourself. Yeah. So I don't know, but I mean, you can certainly make up your own stories to go with it, as you should. I really like this. Let's pair. Who do we want to pair with this? You know how I want to try, and I don't know why, and it's probably not the best choice, but we're going to try it. So this is Earth Whispers Tarot, and it's by Angela Tubb. I love this deck so much. Completely different style, different energy, different everything. So maybe that's why I'm going for it. I don't know how this is going to work, but we'll see. So this is, I guess, a darker deck. So maybe that's why, to kind of find that balance. But I'll tell you, I use this as, you know, just a regular deck. And it doesn't feel dark to me, but I can see where other people might think it's dark. There are some very evocative cards in the deck. I like them. I'm not in love with the pairing. I think that's kind of where we are. Let me see. It might be better. You know what? So here's another one that's very, very, very different. But that's kind of what we want, right? This one is brand new. I just did an unboxing of it, and I haven't even posted it yet. So hopefully I'll post it before I post this, though. But this is the Inner Mask Oracle deck, and it's by Cat Crow. And it's wildly different, but it might be fabulous. So let's see. So these are the backs, actually. And this is a black and white deck. And the art style is wildly different, right? Might be too different, but let's see. You know what? I think that... Let's do this. I think that I might actually like these together, but it's got to be done the right way. So maybe... I wouldn't want like an even number between them, but maybe with a single one. That I like. Yeah, I think for a single pull, this is really nice. It's a really nice contrast. Yeah. But I don't think I would do like a bigger spread with this paired with this. Does that make sense? But I like it by itself. This is such a great card. Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so let's do one more that maybe is going to be fabulous. What about... Let me see. If I can open this deck. Ow! Oh, man. I just smashed my nail. Okay, this one's not opening because it's being a jerk. And it's got thumb cutouts, so I don't know what the deal is. Whoa. Okay. So this deck is Healing Spirits Oracle by Gordon Smith. Artwork by Naomi Walker. This box is not my friend. But these are the backs. So they're not bad. They're not bad. I think that they're fine together. Ooh. We're sliding around. Let's take a few. Yeah, I like these together. Yeah, I like these quite a bit. I think this is a nice pairing despite that box. I'm going to tell you, I might have to move this into a bag though, because that's ridiculous. Look at my poor nail. Anyway. Yeah, I really like these together though. And I do, this is a very spiritual kind of deck. And I think that this could be. right? It doesn't have to be. Yeah, I think those are really nice together. So, alright, let's do just one more. Let's try the Velita Oracle. This is the special edition. And it is I don't know her name, but it's a fabulous oracle. Very, very different. There's a nice sort of simplicity. I think this is kind of the same as like with the inner mask. I think that like that single card could be very nice. Which, by the way, if you ever want to pair a deck with another deck and you feel like it's not quite right, but you really want to work with them both, that's the key, at least for me. You just pull one card from one of the decks and use the other as your main deck, and then I feel like you can pretty much pair anything with anything, honestly, if you do it that way. Alright, let's do one more that might be better. This is Thistledown, and it is by Stephanie Burrows, illustrated by Adam Ohlers. So this deck is by the wonderful creators of Oak, Ash, and Thorn, and Smoke, Ash, and Embers. And so I'm really trying to work with this deck for autumn, at least. I feel like it's very autumnal. So I'm very curious how this will pair with different decks. And also, I just got it fairly recently. It's a beautiful deck. I quite like these together. It's not my favorite pairing, but I do like them together. I don't know. I think that perfect pair is still, for the moment, escaping me. I don't... You know who would probably be fabulous with this? Oh, it's like so far away. I'm not gonna grab it because you know what? I'm having some memory issues when I have to edit, so I'm gonna try really hard not to edit. So we're not gonna grab it. But perhaps, who else is nearby? I just want to try one more to maybe. You know what? I know. So this is Mystagogus by Josephine McCarthy. I feel like this one might be fabulous. This is such a wonderful, wonderful deck. And it's so pretty, and it's just lovely. So... kind of pop these up a little higher. Love this card. Really interesting how the feeling of this card changes depending on how you move it. Yeah, I like these together. I don't know that it's going to be like my go-to pairing, but I like them together. Yeah. So what do you think? What do you think? What decks do you think would be more perfect with this deck? Because I do feel like I'm not quite hitting the way I want to. You know what I mean? Um, so I'm gonna have to play with it and see what might be better. But I'm really liking this deck. I just think it's so lovely. There's something just very nice about it, you know? I think it's an easy reader. You know, very, very RWS. And I think that if you're interested in the Saints, if you're interested in religions, it could be interesting. I think that if you're not, I think it could be just a really nice deck as well. You know, and you can take it just as you might look at like a deck about the Greek gods or you know, whatever that faith, whether it's newer or older, that's interesting to you, but it's not something that you believe or hold dear to your heart. I think there's still a worth there, and there are certainly beautiful stories and parables that we can all learn from, right? And every faith has them. So, yeah, I quite like this deck. I really, really do. I think it's lovely. So, let me know what you think. And until next time, just be wonderful to yourself. Be really, really wonderful because you deserve the best, only the best, all the best, and that is my wish for you.